4th try. Shit. Alright, full disclaimer. If a certain someone sees this, don't know I'm talking about them, but I'm not going to use any names. I'm trying to think about the future. So hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me. Or slander or some shit. But it's true. Really, it's my perception of truth, so. What have I got? What happened down this last weekend? Alright, I'm currently in a relationship and I'm learning a lot about this girl. So, what was it? Saturday? Last Saturday? I watched this video. Mark Laita, Laita. He does the soft white underbellies. He's on the Concrete podcast. I believe it was December 2020. Anyway, he was talking about trauma and how what happens to some people when they go through what they go through at a certain age. Purposely kind of leaving some details out because, yeah, I can't put it all on blast. But with that being said, the parallels that I'm seeing from my girl's behavior now fall directly in line with what he was talking about in that podcast. And it all kind of snapped into place. Okay, so he said that, right? And then, the next day we went down to San Antonio and we went with to see her friend and her husband and her friend's husband. Well, anyway, this is where I might be sharing a little too much, but I have to for the sake of the video, otherwise it all falls apart and my whole theory falls apart. So, sorry, that's the reason why I'm leaving the name out. She told me back in October 2021 that they had a threesome. And, I was like, alright, cool, I guess. And, okay, we're not talking about me. What am I? I'm sorry, I can't help but, like, pull my own shit into this. Like I said, I'm trying to be objective here and look at, like, the whole picture. So, anyway, she's like, you want to go down? I was like, ugh, that'd be weird. Like, I don't know if, like, this guy's gonna, like, try and throw it in my face and, like, he fucked my girl or whatever. Like, I was like, that's weird. It was actually flip-flop. Turns out, he's got feelings for her, or he feels some sort of way about her. They actually grew up together, and they've all known each other for a while. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is because, like, so when we first got down there, like we came into that house, it was just him, and of course, my girl and I. I'm using that term loosely. And, we all greeted and shit, you know what I mean? Like, I already know, like, all, you know, that they all already fucked and whatever, right? And I'm kind of just like, alright, let's see how this is going to unfold and what it looks like. I don't know, right? So, hi. And, we get settled in. You know, he had a Call of Duty on, I was playing his PS5. And, anyway, so I was sitting in the center of him. Like, he was sitting over here on the couch, like, there's a sectional, and then she was sitting on the L, you know, on the lip of the L. So, I had, like, a good view of both of them. Well, anyway, they're sitting there talking, and, like, they each, like, had this little smile between them, and like they're just engaged, you know. And so often my girl, again using that term loosely, like she's just not interested in what I say, or she'll just walk away from me or whatever. And but like she was just so engaged with him, and like there was like this, I don't know, tension, chemistry, something, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not even mad. That's not what this is about. It's literally, I was literally just sitting there observing, and like as it was unfolding, and like I was sitting there thinking, I was like, are they gonna like turn to me and include me in the conversation? Nah, that was between them. You know, like that was like their own world. Oh, speak of the devil. If I can just give her a drink while she's done. Yay! Excuse me for one moment. All right. One second. Sure thing.
See ya.
See ya.
There was a bad kiss.
Have a good one. I'll be back. It's weird telling the story. Anyway, you should see this. So, they were sitting there just engaged, right? And I'm just sitting there observing. Because, like, based off, like, her and mine's, just the last 90 days that we've been seeing each other or whatever, like, so much shit has gone on. So, a lot of drama. And as time has gone on, I've learned, like, to adapt. You know, like, I had very strong feelings at first. Those more or less got stomped on. And I've kind of learned to, like I said, just adapt to the situation and just take it for what it is. With that being said, I'm also, like Mark Leda was, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, how he was describing just people in general, and you just learn. I'm just infinitely curious about what makes them tick. So I can't help but, you know, psychoanalyze my girl. So, I totally said her name. You know what, fuck it, I'm throwing this up regardless. See what comes of it. I don't know. My bad. Nothing intentional, it's just, these are just my observations. And I might be wrong, right? Just my theory. This is just my theory. Again, full disclaimer. Who's to say that I'm right about any of this? But getting back to it. Getting back to they were sitting there, just this chemistry, and I'm like, I guess they did do the thing, whatever. But I didn't feel threatening because I thought I would. You know what I mean? Like we were like a mile out from the house, and my anxiety started kicking in. I drank a beer on the way down, but then like I drank a Red Bull, so then I almost grabbed the second fucking twisted tea to fucking to calm the nerves. But I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get into it and just see what it is, you know? And like I said, it was actually me that was out of place. Or, I mean, I already knew I'm out of place, but like, it was actually me that came off, what's the word? Egregious? Yeah, egregious. By the time the trip was over, I was sitting there, I was waiting for him to like say something to me, but actually he was a fucking perfect gentleman. And like, while he did like have his like attraction to her, and I caught him like staring at her. I mean, she did, like, she had her fucking, the shit she was wearing that night. Fuck. I mean, I can't fault the man, and I won't fault the man. It's just I was learning about her, so, and her interactions, and like, number one, this is how she was dressed. Of course, we went out. Alright, I guess I can't fault her too bad for it, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we're doing, we're going out to fucking have a good time. But like, I caught her like fucking, you know, grabbing his arm. The same shit she was doing with that fucking Leo guy at Nick's. And it just made me think, like, promiscuous, you know what I mean? Like, hypersexualized. Just like fucking Mark Latis said in that video. And it all came together, it all pieced together, and like, and God, what's my role in this? My role in this is like, because I knew, God, what am I trying to say? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm blanking for a second here. My role in it, it's not significant. This isn't about me. I don't think it is. I don't know. I'll just talk about me for a second, or my role in it. Maybe we'll get my gears turning again. So at first, like I said, my feelings were very involved. But then they got stomped on, and then since then, I've I've adapted, and I'm just been like, all right, this is just what the relationship is, but it's whatever, you know. And what am I trying to say? I'm sorry, I need to pull over something. What farts out? She like, I went through her voice memos and I heard her say that she wasn't even that attracted to me at first, which I was a little taken back by. But now looking at like the type of guy she goes for, and like, she was telling me how like she woke up on that dude after they had the threesome, and she was cuddling him, and then like, but she's never cuddled me like that. Made me a little jealous, for sure. But again, like since then, I've learned to adapt and just like what my role is, you know what I mean? And same thing with her, like learning. I've learned more about her too, so it's like, it's not like it's necessarily like a bad thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, well, actually, I'm glad I didn't get that caught up, because I've learned, you know, she may not be Miss Right, but she's Miss Right now. You know, I might not be Mr. Right, but I am Mr. Right now. You know what I mean? So, like I said, just, it is what it is. And so throughout the night, I've just learned like she needs like this attention, which really reminded me of Jocelyn. And again, Jocelyn's way worse, way more candid about it. Ari's a little more subtle about it, but it's definitely there. And God. I fuck. This is gonna sound so bad. Oh, that's why I was gonna bring up my role. All right, so when I first got there, I was like, we went on a date, but I was like afraid to kiss her. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to like whatever. Like I was so in my head about it, and then like when we'd have sex, like I was like a gentleman, right? And then like it turned out like I was, well, she ended up fucking going and seeing other dudes. And obviously she was drawn to other dudes. And like, I was hurt by it. And like I said, I've adapted since then. Well, now it's, so, fuck, just leave it going. Yeah, it's gonna sound bad. So, but she's hypersexualized. And, there's like the sense it's like, well, if you act like a whore, I'm gonna treat you like a fucking whore. And not to say it's a bad thing. Again, like, I know that name or that fucking term has like a serious negative connotation to it. But I like them. I love whores. Like, not that they deserve like any less respect or, well, maybe. I'm just not going to give them my whole self. And actually, that's what happened with Ari. Like, at first I did. I gave her my whole self, and it got trampled on, got stomped on. But then what's crazy is that, like, so then I was like, oh, so you're a whore, so I'm going to treat you like a whore. Then once I was treated like a whore, we had this deeper understanding of each other. And, it's worked. That's what I'm saying, like, right now. It's not so bad. And, like, and that's okay. And then, like, I can do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, and then we can operate off of that. And, what's so wrong with that? I don't think anything's wrong with that. But, you know, people will have their opinions. But, that's all. But that also bleeds into my next point. Is that, like, I believe we're meant to be polygamous. And society fucking stamps it into us that, we're supposed to be monogamous and blah blah blah, all this shit. It's like, I don't fucking believe it. So again, like, we were sitting there at I was sitting there watching these two, right? And not a twinge of jealousy, not a twinge of, because I don't know what happened in my last one. Kind of just cut off. But like I said, I had an understanding of it. And, once I park, this will be more fluid, I promise. Oh. Can I cut over? Cross? Ah! Where am I? Shit, white man, shit. Shout out, yeah, Lee. That's it. So yeah, once we came to this understanding, shit became a lot more fluid. And I'm watching these two, I was just like, yeah, y'all should fucking link up. And then it made me think, I was like, well, oh, like, I think I was saying, I don't remember if I recorded this video or the last or whatever, when I put up, but, or in my attempts to make this video, I came to realize after that trip, I was like, this isn't my girl. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I already knew that, but like, just how she was interacting with, you know, everyone and whatnot, just made me really realize it's not my girl. Not only, like, I have not captured her heart like that. You know what I mean? Like I've seen her with this dude, and like, really good dude, like totally stand up guy, fucking disciplined. I would argue better than me, let's just say that. And in many ways, in a lot of good ways. And I was sitting there just thinking, like, again, like, not that she's not my girl, like, oh, man, I don't get to have possession of her, but like, her heart is already captured elsewhere. It's already, in other areas. And all I can think about is, like, she probably has him and maybe other guys like him or whatever, but because, like, those guys will always be obsessed with him. And she will always have guys like him in her back pocket, so she can run all across town and go do all this shit, and then know at the end of the day she can go back to him. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, I never want to be that guy. So that night, remember I was saying, you act like a whore, get treated like a whore. Fuck. I'm a little surprised at myself, to be honest, because I kind of just let go. And I became not who I was in the beginning of the relationship. But I guess, like, maybe that's just who we are, like, what our connection is. You know what I mean? Like it's more of an understanding. And because at first, like, it did start off with, like, a lot of emotions and feelings and blah 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 blah, but then, like, as time went on and, like, I learned her and she learned me, like, it's that's what our bond has become. And maybe that's for the better, you know what I mean? Because, like I said, I think, like, that guy, guys like him, like, we need them in the world. Like, they're vital. And I truly salute them for being who they are, uncompromisingly, if that's a word. I think I'm using it correctly. Because, like, for me, it's like, I felt like I had to adapt to survive, like, guys like him are a pillar, they're a stone, they're a rock, and they will not be moved. And that's just solid foundation. Where it's me, like, well, I don't know, Robert Greene, assume formlessness. So on the same note, I also won't apologize for being fluid and adapting to what the situation called for. So, because I had to protect myself, like, because I think guys like that, like they just take the hit after hit after hit, and and essentially I can't do that. That's why I was willing to adapt, or I had to adapt, was to protect my own stuff, my own shit. My guards had to go up and all that shit. So oh shit, so interesting. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so not my girl. She's just not my girl. So the hunt continues. And Yeah, just seeing her. God, she was loose. She was fast and loose. And I was right there with it. Fuck. It's a trip. But yeah, I still think she's looking for someone to save her. She's still looking for that guy. And at the end of the day, I think she knows she has that dude. You know he's married, because like I heard about like their shit, like they had that threesome. But really, like she could pull him at any time. Like I know they got their issue. I don't. It's just interesting. So, what am I trying to say? I think I'm just trying to wrap it up and say I think we're meant to be polygamous. To sit here and think that we can get everything we need just from one other person, or want for that matter, is completely ludicrous. And I really think I really think that I don't know what's to come of that, because I've tried using my words to explain it, but a lot of people, or a lot of my conversations, I should say, they always dissolve or just fall wayside, and it never amounts to anything. It never actually comes to fruition. It always gets denounced. I'm like, why don't we just be polygamous? Like, you just go do your thing, I'll do mine. But I think it comes down to control. Like, we want to control each other. Maybe that's what it is. Because even though like we have this inherent, feeling of being polygamous, but maybe our wanting to control the next person supersedes that. Hence why we'll have an understanding, yet, and we will fucking sneak off and go do shit, but then we want the next person to fucking fall in line. And even when they do cheat and shit and all that good shit, we still take them back because of that understanding. And like I said, we try to control them, but it just keeps slipping through the fingers, and eventually it just comes to a point where you just don't feel like you can control them. Hence, like fucking Ari with that dude. Like, she knew she can control him and put him in check, and like he'd fall in line, and she knows she has that in her back pocket. So it's like there's nothing to dominate. There's nothing to pursue. It's very lackluster. In a sense. Because while he might provide security, but he does not engage her, or people like him do not engage others wanting to dominate, overcome adversity, whatever. It becomes very boring. Interesting. That's all I got.